All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Long Coffee Break. So glad for you to join us again. Today, we have a special guest of Jake Strawhecker with an application engineer for Daikin Applied. And today we're going to discuss water source heat pumps. So Jake, go ahead and take it away.
All right, yeah, thanks, Josh. So as you said, my name's Jake Strawhecker. Been here with Daikin Applied for about 7.5 years now. Working in applications most of that time covering the water source heat pump product, and then now expanding to all of our applied terminal systems. And I cover these guys in long as part of my territory. So with that, we'll get started. Just a little rundown of kind of what we're going to talk about today. Just a little bit of an introduction to our water source heat pump product line. As many of you are probably aware, that has changed quite a bit in recent times due to the A2L refrigerant regulations. So going to tell you kind of what Daikin's doing about that, what that looks like for our model breakdown, overview of the products. Um, we do have what we like to refer to as a three-tier product offering, so we'll go into detail on that for our horizontal and vertical product lines. Mention our other water source heat pump models that have transitioned to R32 as well, and then we'll just go over some of the options and accessories that we have available with our water source heat pump platform. So for those of you that might be familiar with the Daikin water source heat pump platform, the Smart Source brand name might not be new to you. What is new is going to be that middle tier here, the Smart Source Plus. We had what we referred to as our Infinity product line that was a great seller for us. We had it for about 20 years or so. We are not we're not getting rid of that. What we are is we're kind of standardizing the three tiers. We kind of like to refer to it as a good, better, and best, starting with the compact, going up to our plus, and then all the way up to our premium models. And again, that applies to all of our horizontal and vertical offerings. And just to break that down a little further here, you can see on the left, the today, or I guess we could even say yesterday now, the R410A offering that we had, and then on the right, the tomorrow, which is really now today. So before you can see we had the Smart Source Compact, the Infinity, and then up to the Smart Source Premium. Where this got a little confusing was Infinity was the oldest platform. Then we released the Smart Source Premium. Then we went back and added a compact offering. What we're doing now is we're standardizing across those three tiers. So now, as you see at the top, when you think Daikin water source heat pumps, just think Smart Source. All of our models, horizontal, vertical stack, any of those are going to carry that Smart Source brand name. And now there's just going to be a different model name after that, whether that be the compact, the plus, the premium, and so on. You can see it's a little small, but see the nomenclature there. We're still offering, the half all the way up to the 6 tons. And you'll see in a couple slides here what we are standardizing and how that might help you, what that means to you out in the field. So just another visual showing kind of where we line up. There you go. And you can kind of see the old hidden in there and then the new as well. So the new is going to be the darker blue. We didn't remove any, like I said, we changed the Infinity name, but we still have that three-tier offering or that good, better, best. As you go up to the premium, you are going to go up in average dollar per ton, average cost, but you're also going up in average efficiency. So one thing that we're trying to impress is Smart Source. When we first released that Smart Source name, we really tried to hammer in that Smart Source meant high efficiency, premium, top of the line. Now Smart Source is everything we offer. So what that allows you to do, having those three tiers, is to use the right tier to win the job. So not every job needs that highest efficiency unit. The compact, it's still got competitive efficiencies, but it's going to come at a lower price point, obviously a smaller footprint, going to allow you to fit into some of those tight, whether they be closet spaces, ceiling spaces, We know space for HVAC is typically at a premium, so those can be a great option just depending on the job. And just going into a little more detail of what we offer as far as some of the options across the different tiers, you'll see now there's also a little more of a logical breakdown or an improvement as we go up in tiers. So for example, on the premium tier, that's going to come along with now a braze plate heat exchanger. That is not something we offered on the 410A offering. We're only offering that on our premium tier. The general thought there is typically your jobs that are going to be requesting or wanting the more premium efficiency units are also going to have a little bit better quality control as far as their water goes, and that's going to be something they're paying more attention to. Maybe it's a LEED building, green building, something along those lines. You'll also see the hot gas reheat and water side economizer. One thing, if you have sold Daikin water source heat pumps or installed Daikin water source heat pumps before, and maybe you had hot gas reheat for dehumidification and a water side economizer for free cooling, that used to always require a special on our end. We weren't able to control both. So we said, hey, you in the field, you're going to have to control the water side economizer on your own. We'll take care of the hot gas reheat. With the new R32 models, that's also coming with a brand new control board. That control board has been improved and enhanced, so we can now go ahead and control both the hot gas reheat and the water side economizer. So that's kind of a quality of life improvement that should definitely help. One thing you'll also notice on the smallest, the compact tier, we are not offering hot gas reheat. So that, as we see it, as a little more of a premium option. So we're going to start offering that at the plus or the mid tier. Keep moving forward. So this slide's a little bit busy, might be a little hard to see, but the reason I keep it in there is we've standardized our sheet metal parts in our cabinets across the 3 tiers. So if you were to look at this slide, and let's say, and this has our old and our new model nomenclature in there, but the new compact, for example, is the WSCH. So if you were looking at a 2-ton compact, you're going to see and this is the horizontal model, you're going to see the dimensions right here. If you then went to that mid tier, you're going to see that the 1.5-ton size shares that exact same cabinet footprint. And then if you go down to the premium tier, the 1-ton shares that exact same cabinet footprint. So you might be asking, okay, that's cool. How does it help me? One of the biggest improvements is that's actually going to help our factory greatly. I was told that we reduced the SKUs and the part numbers that they have to manage, handle, stock, build by about 30 to 40%. So that's allowed us to mitigate costs down, help keep that down even with all these new development and new projects going on. You might also be asking if you've installed or maybe bid on some of the compact of the 410A models. Those footprints from compact 410A to compact R32, those are staying exactly the same, so no changes there. In case you were not aware, I think I mentioned it a couple times, but Daikin, especially Daikin water source heat pumps, will all be using the R32 refrigerant. That was our choice to go forward with and redesign all of our units to be able to handle. One of the advantages there's a few here on the slide, but obviously it meets that low GWP threshold. It is a single blend refrigerant as well, allows for easy maintenance, easy and efficient recycling as well. And the leak detection we'll get into just a little bit later here. So features and options of the Smart Source water source heat pumps. And just kind of another little tidbit, I call this kind of a Daikinese, if you want to call it that. So when we talk about options, we are talking about something that is factory installed that we go ahead and install at the factory that goes on that unit. You get to choose it when you order it. When we reference accessories, that's something that's going to be like a shipped loose, a field installed item. So those words might sound interchangeable, but when you're talking to somebody at Daikin or probably your long sales rep, they say, hey, did you want this option? Did you want this accessory? That's kind of what we're referring to there. And just a glimpse of some of those options. We maintain just about all of them going from 410A to the R32 platform. As I mentioned on some of those earlier slides, it might depend on which tier you're at as far as if an option's available or not. But we're still offering the PSC motors, constant torque EC motors, our constant CFM EC motors. So just depending on which one works best for your application. Factory installed or field installed motorized isolation valves, that's still a standard offering. BACnet communication cards, again, factory or field installed for that. Water set economizer and hot gas reheat, some of definitely the more popular ones. And we'll get into the two-stage compressors as well. So just to kind of sum that up, the R32 platform, it's been a huge undertaking here at Daikin with obviously just within water source heat pumps. We have a bunch of different models that needed to be converted over by that January 1st, 2025 deadline. So they all have that R32 refrigerant, like I mentioned. One new thing to our R32 offering that we did not have for 410A is that dual stage, that two-stage compressor offering across the board, all three tiers. So compact, you'll be able to select in single or dual stage. The plus, that middle tier will be the same, and then the premium. The premium two-stage is what's currently out, with the compact and plus to come here in these next few weeks and months. I mentioned the braze plate heat exchanger. On all of the units we talked about so far, so our standard horizontal and vertical 1/2 to 5 or 6 ton, there's going to be no leak detection required. So due to the lower charge that R32 requires, none of those units are over the threshold where leak detection or mitigation is going to be required. Where that will be required is on just our 3 largest large cap sizes. And when we say large cap, we're talking about anything over 6 tons. So the 3 largest, it's going to be our 16.5 ton, the size 200, the size 240, and then the 25 ton, the size 300. Those are going to be what's going to require your leak detection. That is going to come bundled from the factory with the unit. You're not going to have to select it any differently or add it on in the field, anything like that. So if the unit requires it, we're going to go ahead and send it with it. And then as I kind of mentioned there, the one plus of R32 is the lower refrigerant charge required than at least R454B, for example. And just to give you a glimpse of what is out there, we're releasing more literature and more documentation pretty much by the week right now, as like I said, everything had to be converted over. I did mention that a brand new Microtech board now. It's now referred to as the Microtech 2300. So we've got the OM for that board, the BACnet protocol document, which is essentially the points list, if you want to lay that out with a controls contractor. Our product IMs for any of the products that are out, so the vertical, the horizontal, those are all available. And those are available on the public website. If you ever have a hard time finding them, just reach out to your long sales rep. They can definitely help you out. And with that, I think about a minute to spare. That's what I've got. So, got anything else for
Good
me,
work.
Josh?
Good work, Jake. Just curious on availability of these units currently.
Yeah, so the last, besides the two-stage for the compact and plus, which I just mentioned, are coming very shortly. The last model that we released was the console water source heat pumps, and those were just added to our selection software a couple weeks ago. So now horizontal and vertical stack, console, and large capacity are all selectable within our selection software, and we have started shipping, especially a lot of the horizontal and vertical models already. So
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Jake, for the presentation. Can you give me the next slide, please?
yep, there you go.
Okay. As well as if you have any questions on those A2L requirements on these heat pumps or A2L in general, please reach out to your long sales guy so they can give you a presentation as far as not having that requirement or what we don't believe is that requirement.